Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is an episode for Living World of Darkness, the Changeling venue. Today, we have a scene with Richard at Home Fires. He's currently busying himself by taking a break from his schoolwork by acclimating himself to the new world that he finds himself involved in. And how he's doing that is he's currently walking in the commoner districts of Home Fires, currently breaking in his new composite armor that Kagoma had helped him acquire in Goblin Town. Still openly wearing his house colors and making a note to greet anybody that he comes across, smiles, and if anybody looks as if they need any particular help, he gives them a hand. Holding doors open, people that are carrying groceries look like they need help.
And at a certain point, so Richard is approached by a pair of trolls wearing lightly armoured for guard duty type affair, and wearing tabards with the sigil of Queen Mab upon them, which, as we all know, is the crown with the apple design.
Yep.
And are your wings visible?
Yes. Yes,
then
they
you're
are.
very easy to spot, and they make a beeline directly for you.
Yes, the armor that Richard acquired in Goblin Town was actually somewhat customized for his wings, so that they would have easy access. So.
And one of the trolls, they approach you, and they kind of tower over you because they're trolls.
Yes.
Blotting out the sun with their very presence. One of them looks at a piece of paper. Sir Grayson?
Grayson, yes. What can I do for you, gentlemen?
I'm afraid we'll have to ask you to come with us, sir.
Why would you be afraid? I mean, he'll point at the sigil that they bear. I mean, of course I'm going to go with you.
I was meant as a formality, sir.
Can I ask what for?
You're wanted for questioning at the castle, sir.
Regarding?
Don't know.
Fair enough.
They pretty much just tell us to go and get somebody, and we go and get them.
Right. So it may not necessarily be that I'm in trouble.
Could be that way, sir.
Fair enough. Let's go.
All right. The two trolls flank you, but they're not in a particularly like go and catch this dangerous criminal, and thus we must look after him, more in a escort kind of way.
I would assume so if they're letting me keep my weapons.
Yeah, you can definitely discern that their orders were to just like bring you to the castle, not capture this person.
Okay. Can I do a perception empathy? Do they look nervous or anything?
Like this is just their regular 9 to 5. You don't need. I'm not gonna make you roll for that, dude.
Oh, okay, fine.
We're not going to bust out the dice for that. They just look like they're just getting on with their day. If anything, they look slightly happier because they didn't really have to do much asking around. You're really, really easy to spot, and they only just started like looking for you as well. They thought they were going to have to go all the way to the War College. It was going to be a whole day thing, and oh, that's the dude.
There he is. He's over there. That's him.
In fact, you know what? They seem almost cheerful. Oh, nice day for it.
Yeah.
You going to watch the match later, sir?
Which match?
Oh, the Stonemasons Guild's playing off against the Butchers Guild in the town square.
For what?
For the match, the football match.
Oh, there's a football match.
Well, yeah.
Sure, I guess, if I'm not busy being questioned.
Oh, I'm sure these questions don't take long one way or another.
Fair enough.
But I'm sure it'll be fine.
Who is asking me for questioning, if I may ask?
The Marshal.
The Marshal. Who is the marshal? I've heard of title, and that's about it.
Well, the marshal is the final authority in police in this here kingdom. Well, begging pardon, sorry. Of course, Queen Mab is the final authority on everything, but she delegates that task to the marshal. The position
So
of marshal.
she's like the chief of police.
Yes, exactly.
I understand. Does she have a name besides the marshal?
Marshal Julia, it is.
Julia.
That's all right.
Do you want me to roll intelligence, or does that automatically just go?
I don't know. Do you remember that like life-changing information you were given?
Yes, I do remember that life-changing information.
Then I think that's fine. You probably don't need to roll for it.
Good.
I'm pretty sure, in fact, your character would remember that fact better than you do.
Yes.
So yeah.
Did you just say Julia?
Yes, that's her name. Trump.
Okay.
Is there a problem, sir?
No problem at all.
You
Not a problem.
You can tell these trolls have a slightly unusual attitude towards the nobility, because they're obviously trying to be very polite because you are a she and you have a title and everything. They are also accustomed to going and acquiring people.
That's
So-
fine.
so
But they
it's
do
kind of
notice
like
that all of a sudden a big happy ass grin is just across Richard's face.
Well, that grin will, I'm sure, sustain you on the rest of the journey until you reach the castle itself, and are taken in through the gates. Now, the castle itself is a bustle of activity, as it usually is, as you cross the grand foyer, and they lead you off into a side passage, and eventually they lead you into one of those little rooms that, like big grand houses and I'm presuming castles have, that don't really serve any purpose. It's like a room between rooms where it just has like a table and some chairs and maybe a nice view, and really it serves no purpose.
It's a waiting room for all intents and purposes. It's a waiting room. So.
If you'd like to wait here, sir. They gesture towards there's like a rococo sofa.
Of course.
Across from a coffee table and a pair of chairs across from them. The room itself is pleasant, kind of powder blue, gold trim, some nice nice tapestries hanging on the wall depicting great events from Shi history. A chandelier hangs from the ceiling, casting light, but it's day and the light streams in through the windows anyway.
What house does Queen Mab belong to?
She is House Fiona.
Is that obvious by the decor?
Not especially.
All right.
Queen Mab is, as I understand it, Queen Mab is Fiona. She generally keeps the crazy Fiona shit in check because she is queen, and she certainly has enough political savvy to have taken the throne from the three most likely people who could have taken it at the time. So she kind of just swooped in and did her thing.
Now, she's queen of the Kingdom of Apples.
She is technically Queen of Concordia.
Okay, all right.
But since our chronicle is almost entirely set within the Kingdom of Apples, that does rather narrow the scope somewhat.
Right.
But she's busy. That's why she has to appoint a regent for the Kingdom of Apples.
That's fine.
Because, she's one lady. She's got a lot to do. You can only be in so many places at once. But she's the High Queen, because David was the High King for Concordia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that Sarah will rush out and correct me if I get any of this wrong.
Yes.
So keep your eye on this door behind me, because she'll burst out of there.
What, beat you with a foam finger or something?
If I'm lucky. Anyway, you are waiting in this room, and you are kept waiting for quite a while, actually. Probably a good 10 minutes have gone by, and no one has come through.
I've been to doctor offices that are worse.
Ah, so that's Richard's attitude, is it?
Yeah.
After about 15 minutes or so, the door is opened by a guard. This time it's a puka in guard's armor, and in strides a figure. There we go. A tall she-woman with blonde hair. Kind of, while of course all of the she are beautiful, she has a somewhat harsh look to her figure, which is only accentuated by the way she walks and stands. She clearly has a a fighter's bearing, and she is dressed in a grey. She's wearing what effectively is like a grey. It's a grey dress that's you get the impression is, because you are familiar with weaponry stuff, is pretty armored in places, and she actually has a breastplate, and one arm has a gold leafed actual armor on, and across her heart is the sigil of the Kingdom of Apples, which is kind of her badge of office, if you will. It doesn't say dread, but it's got that kind of thing going on.
When she enters.
And she has a sword at her side. I will say one thing you do notice is that while her armor is the beautiful she armor engraved and filigreed as is always, this actually it has nicks and dents in it that have not been repaired.
It's
cosmetic damage is clearly been left completely alone, whereas functional damage functionally looks fine. It's just the cosmetic stuff has not been repaired.
That's fine.
Likewise, her sword is a lot less elaborate than most. It looks functional, which is unusual for the sheep. So Grayson,
and she will receive one of these, and basically he'll Marshal Juliet.
You're sat on the sofa. Rather than taking one of the seats opposite you, he stands behind those chairs and paces back and forth as she talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you have a crime to report, sir.
I was not the one that originally reported the crime, but I was present when it happened.
Then tell me what you know.
You remember the hunt, yeah?
Yes. Her eyes mist over for a second.
You remember that we had certain guests, certain out-of-town guests that came to the hunt.
So Grayson, talk plainly, please. I'm a very busy woman. I have very little time for this.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Countess Sasha von Habsburg. It is my belief that during the hunt, she intentionally attacked Sir Arden's horse with her hounds.
Sir Arden Hendricks?
Sir Arden Hendricks, indeed. We helped Sir Arden Hendricks and the Lady Portia out of a ditch that they were thrown in. The horse was unable to be saved. It seemed as though its throat was bitten out.
First, a point. Portia the Puka is not a lady. And secondly, why have I not heard of this from Sir Arden himself?
My first guess? Fear.
I had heard that he was thrown from his horse during the hunt.
Well, after we helped, after Lord Valerius, the Slua Pietro, and myself helped Sir Arden and Portia out of the ditch, and acquired for them attention by the Huntsmaster, we continued the trail of the Golden Heart, and that led us into a confrontation with the Countess Habsburg herself. She ordered us out of her way, and she ordered her dogs to surround us. When we refused to leave the trail, she spoke a word, and Richard wouldn't have forgotten this word, and he will say the German word for kill. And her hounds attacked us.
I see. Are you prepared to press formal charges?
A knight pressing formal charges against a countess.
The law is the law.
You have no idea how pleasing it is to hear those words.
While I may not,
Yes.
while I may not be the biggest fan of Baron Valerius, and certainly Pietro, the murdering slewer, is no friend of mine, it disheartens me to hear that one such as yourself, who is new to this world, is the one who has to come forward with this information.
I killed one of her hounds for the insult.
Good. I shall.
Pietro slew another one, and Baron Valerius injured a third. If you go to her kennels, you'll notice 2 of her active hounds are missing.
Then it's a good thing that she has not yet left for Europe. Some business seems to have detained her in the Kingdom of Apples.
Valerius was the first person to bring this attention to the Duchess Megan. I believe it was him that originally wished to press formal charges.
Why is it that we are some weeks out from the hunt and I'm only now hearing of this?
Baron Valerius disagreed with my wish to bring this to attention.
I see. Politics, then.
Yes, politics.
Very well. I shall investigate this matter. If there is any wrongdoing on the part of the Countess, it will be addressed.
Thank you.
Do you have any additional information for me that might help in my investigation?
Not information that would help in the investigation, but I have information that is important to me.
Well, good for you.
That might also be important for you.
I thought I had told you to speak plainly, Sir Grayson.
Julii.
Is my name, yes.
It was also mine once upon a time.
What are you saying?
Do you remember anything of your previous life before you were who you are now? Times in Rome, perhaps.
It's a rather personal question, but yes.
Do you remember who you served with?
Much is hazy, but I have certain memories, yes.
And Richard will open his arms as if presenting himself.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Indeed.
She takes almost just takes a step back, and you can see she's trying to compose herself a little bit. We will need to consult with a seer.
Indeed.
So Grayson, are you available later today?
I am available for as long as you need me.
My duty calls to me, and I must set my men to begin this investigation, but I would like to speak to you further on this matter as soon as possible.
Of course.
Do you have memories of your prior life?
Memories. Only what a seer told me.
She looks a little crestfallen.
She told me that I served with the family Julii. That there was somebody in the household of great importance to me. That we served together as not only household gods, but gods of justice and vengeance.
For that, she perks up a little bit more. I think we need to speak with the seer.
Indeed. Marshal Julii, even though I'm young, by all accounts, I guess Baron Valerius is right to call me a child. But you serve the law. I wish to also serve the law. Is there a way that this can be done?
As it happens, I am looking to appoint a magistrate to administer legal matters. But I feel first we must address this issue between us.
Indeed.
I will, however, take into consideration the fact that you came to me with news of this crime. Or came before me, sorry, you didn't come to me, she called for you, but you came before me with the news.
Yes.
And spoke out when others would not, because it was right.
The law is the law.
I must, yes, will you be staying at Home Fires?
If you need me to.
Do not go far. I shall send some of my men for you once I am free.
I'll be staying in Baron Valerius' quarters here.
Very well. I will call upon you when I have time to arrange. And with that, she gives you a bow. No curtsy for this one. And she...
Of course not. I wouldn't expect a curtsy.
And she will briskly walk back out the way she came in.
All right. So, if Richard walks around the palace for a while, is there anything else that would happen?
Nothing springs to mind right at this moment.
Okay.
I suspect we're going to need to do another scene before long.
Yes, definitely.
Okie dokie.
So, I think that's the end of it. So I think I will thank everybody for watching, and hope you had fun listening as much as we had fun playing. So,
and as a warning to all you changelings out there, behave yourself or the marshal will come for you.
And maybe the new magistrate.